talk a little bit about something that came up the other day. I was on LinkedIn actually, like a pretty good group that might be worth checking out called Consultants Network. And a question came up about how to grow. And I interacted with a few people about this. I want to talk to you about it because the question that was raised was, well, is it better to grow vertically, kind of, within a given market, or horizontally across multiple markets? Those are perfectly valid questions, but it got me thinking about something that I'm going to laugh when I say it, but that thing is often overlooked, and it's what I would call micro-vertical growth. I'm laughing because it just sounds silly, like what are you talking about? And what I mean is something quite simple actually. It's how much can you grow within a single client that you have? You have that client, and in our experience, those clients are tremendous opportunities for additional consulting growth. And what we do is we have what we call what's keeping you awake at night conversations with our clients on a pretty regular basis, pretty close to once a month. And you can bring those issues up in the context of a regular conversation, but oftentimes what we do is we schedule non-agenda meetings with our clients about once a month just to talk about their business. And what are you struggling with? What are you worrying about? What's keeping you awake at night? And what's interesting in those conversations is your clients will pull you into things that you could never have dreamed up on your own. That would have been very hard to sell because they're actually selling for you. Let me give you an example about that. One of our CEO clients, we were talking one of these non-agenda meetings, and he was really struggling with getting his board to understand their strategy. Just wasn't connecting. He kept asking the same questions, kept being concerned about him not addressing the same issues. But the plan was there. And we're talking about this, and we didn't have to say a word. And he said, hey, you guys helped us build a strategic plan, the executive team. Can you help my board understand that plan? We said, sure. We've become the go-to board development consultant for that client for a couple of years now. It's generated a tremendous amount of work, really interesting work, and think about this. How deep are you into your client when the board thinks you're indispensable? And we never would have come up with that on our own. So this issue of really engaging with your client, looking to grow as much as you can within that given client, sounds like common sense. I think it is common sense. But what's interesting to me when I interact with other consultants, and I felt this way for years, how often they overlook that. They look at the project they have with a given client and they don't think of things more broadly. A while back, I'm talking to a marketing consultant, and he was actually complaining about a client of his and kept trying to pull him into a strategic planning assignment. And he said, I'm not going to do it because, and I'm quoting here, I don't want it to dilute my expertise. Really? Are you kidding? What he's turning his back on, and I don't want you to do this, is what I think is the greatest avenue for growth that I've ever experienced. And that's becoming a trusted thought partner with your clients on whatever is really bothering them about their business. What's the toughest stuff? If you can become a go-to person on those tough issues, you become indispensable and you'll get more work than you've ever dreamed of. So the key question to be thinking about for growth is how can I leverage my expertise to help my clients solve more of their toughest business problems?